as far as I'm concerned, since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa?
Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome to my Africa, Your Africa, and you can call me Biggest Stella. So my Africa, Your Africa is all about how beautiful Africa is when it comes to the rich culture and tourism, the food and the beautiful people of Africa. So we are in the Elmina Castle, which is known to be the biggest and the oldest castle in West Africa. So we're gonna go in there and have a little education about the great history of the castle and have a little feel of what our forefathers went through during the days of slavery.
You are welcome. My name is Jose, so I'll be your tour guide. I'll give you a brief history about this castle. Along the coast of West Africa, you can count about 60 forts and castles. Ghana was the hub of the trade, so you find most of the forts and castles right here in Ghana. We have 3 major castles, and the rest are forts. The 3 castles are Osu Castle at Accra, built in 1661 by the Danes. We have the Cape Coast Castle, built by the British in 1664, and where you are today is St. George's Castle. This castle was built by the Portuguese in the year 1482. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to arrive here. They came here in 1471, purposely to trade and to spread Christianity. They came along with guns, gunpowder, tobacco, mirror, spirituous trinkets, and liquors, and they exchanged that for gold, ivory, and later on other spices. So the system of trade was barter, exchange of goods for goods. Gold was what the Portuguese were interested in, and incidentally, the locals were giving them too much gold, so the Portuguese came to believe that the place was full of gold, and by that reason, they named the place Amina or Damina. In their language, it means the mine. That name has been corrupted into today's Elmina. Another name the Portuguese gave this town was Aldea, which in their language it means the village. The original name of this town was Anum Ansa. Anuma Ansa in our dialect simply means inexhaustible supply of water. So we are at the female courtyard. All the rooms you see here were the female dungeons. About 400 women were held at a time. And these are reservoirs. 1, 2. Let's have it. The Portuguese built these reservoirs for the storage of water. We are inside one of the female slave dungeons. About 120 women were held here in shackles. 120. The same place the eggs urinated, defecated, menstruated, vomited, and slept for 2 to 3 months. So if you sense anything, these castle has undergone a lot of cleaning, but still you can still feel their impact as you have alluded. Because of the inhumane condition, a lot of them died. And when you die here, no befitting burial, they just pick your bodies and dump them into the sea. The only source of ventilation and light at the windows, one here, one at this corner. There was a big door at the entrances. The doors are always open. Anytime the gardener wants to select any of them, it will be ripped before they open the doors. Now let's see the largest dungeon. Right inside here is the largest of the female dungeons. About 150 women were held here in shackles. 150? Yes, please. Same place with the ends 120. So at the time 400 women. So this staircase leads directly to the gardener's bedroom. The woman will be led from here to the gardener's residence. Children from the Europeans and the Africans are the people we call mulattoes. They brought the children here to be trained. They started what we call castle schools in Ghana. They trained them to be interpreters to bridge the language gap. They gave them names such as Ferguson, Atchison, Peterson, Thompson, Van Vika, Van Nys, Van Dyke. These are the people we call mulattoes. In our local dialect, we refer to them as half-caste or mixed race. They are the genesis of European names in our culture today.
And this would be replaced?
It has been replaced.
Oh, okay.
The women were, married before they were enslaved here. So if the governor had selected any of them and the woman refuses, such ones were punished by the use of this cannonball. This is very, very heavy. It weighs about 25 kg, half cement bag. Very, very heavy.
Can I carry it?
Yes, you can give it a try. It's very, very heavy. Hey! This is very heavy. Yeah. They will tie a chain to the ankle of the woman. The woman will be stuck
That seems
here.
very heavy.
Very, very heavy, my brother. She can't go anywhere. She'll be stuck here. When it's raining, she's inside of it. When the sun is scorching, she's right inside here. The rest with the windows.
They will be having a church right over here.
Right on top. That is the irony of all this. So the woman will be stuck here. When it's raining, she's inside. The sun will be scorching here. The rest through the windows will be watching what is happening. They do that to break the spirit of the woman, so that she'll serve as an example for the rest, not to resist the governor's advances. Cannonball. Inside the dungeon that held 130 women.
130?
Yes, in shackles. The same place they ate, urinated, defecated, and slept. There were no mattresses, there were no beds. They were sleeping on the bare floors. As we are touring the castle, anywhere you see red bricks, they were brought from Portugal. The castle, yes, was built under the supervision of Don Diego de Azambuja. He led the Portuguese to build this castle. They imported the materials from Portugal, red bricks, and then the yellow ones were also brought from Netherlands or Holland. The Dutch brought them. Different Europeans were here. When you cast your eyes around, you can see some clothing and some shackles. Yeah. These materials here are not original. They were brought inside here 10 years ago. Some Africans came here to reenact what happened. They lived here for 12 hours, from 6 p.m. to the following day, 6 a.m. And when we came to work, we realized that none of them defecated, none of them vomited and menstruated, but some urinated. Urine alone. We couldn't stay here even for a minute because of the smell. All the female slaves that survived, they marched them from here. There is the female passage to the room of no return. When we get into this dungeon, we will not see the staircase, because when the British were here, slavery ended. They converted a wooden staircase into a drainage to channel rainwater into the sea. We added this iron for safety reasons. This room here is the branding room. Let's walk through the branding room. This is where they were branded. The Europeans would put hot branding irons in fire. After it's been heated, they lifted it to give them identification. Out of shock, a lot of them died from the shocks, from the pain of the branding irons. The room is very, very heavy. The male slave that survived, they transited all of them from here to the room of no return. There is the only source of ventilation and light. The only source. So when it rains, it comes directly on them. So our brother asked that, what's the meaning of this? This castle and this ground is a sacred ground. We perform rituals and libation here. So this place is lighting up as a reflection of connecting with the ancestors. Some African Americans, when they come, they always bring wreaths. So all these ones, when they come here, we do all that here to connect them with the ancestors. So that's why you see the candles and the bottles of schnapps for libation. Right. So we'll see more of this when we go to the room of no return. We are going to the room of no return. You bend down gently, take 5 steps before you raise your head because of the architecture. 5 steps.
5 steps.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh.
The room of no return, and this is the door of no return. Once you get here, that is the last time you are seeing the soil of Africa. From this room through this door, we have many Africans today, countries like Guyana, Suriname, America, Jamaica, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and other parts. That is where the ancestors left the shores of the continent with their returning. Looking at the narrow nature of this door, it doesn't mean that they were not fat and big. They were muscular, big people, but they forced them through this narrow door. It's original, door of no return.
Can I try going?
Oh, yes, yes. Once they pass you through this door, smaller boats will pick them at the mouth of the castle to the bigger ships. And on the slave ship, they were arranged one on top on the other, like books on the shelves, like sardine. That's how they were arranged, one on top. The suffering was a continuous episode of suffering. Once you survive here for about 8 to 9 weeks of agony, another suffering on the slave ship, we call it the middle passage. Pregnant women in shackles giving birth. When you are sick, they throw you off board. From there, they were sent to work on plantations, on fields, on mines, in America, in the Caribbean. The transatlantic slave trade, that is where it all started, right here at this castle. Just behind you, you can see some wreaths. These wreaths were brought by people from the diaspora, African Americans, Africans from the Caribbean. They brought all this to honor their ancestors. And the bottles you see around also and the candles, they use them for libation. This is a very sacred ground, so the candles and the things are used for performing rituals right here.
May their souls rest in perfect
Yes,
peace.
yes, yes, yes. Initially, these were offices, but today, an art craft shop. Let's walk through the shop where I will recommend some books to you. History of indigenous slavery in Ghana. All the untold stories they've been documented, how people have written outside of the story. Ghana had a form of slavery called the endangered servitude system. In our system, they had rights, they could marry, they could acquire properties, compared to the chattel slavery the Europeans brought.
So
we have
there used to be
offices.
Yes.
Then we also have cry lamentation of our ancestors. All the untold stories, our people have written it down. So we keep one of these materials with us. Yes, they are here. Shackles in Darkness, another handbook on the transatlantic slave trade.
It's very cool, nice. Oh, you've changed the structure. It hasn't changed. Okay. But it's all nice. The same architecture. Wow.
Bedroom of the governor. A good view of the sea. Breeze from the sea the governor enjoys. All these occupied by him alone. And aside this room, he has 2 living rooms, all for himself. Let's see.
Is it strategic so that you could see everywhere?
Everywhere. Very, very strategic. Very, very strategic. Let's see his living rooms. All giving him a good view of the sea to monitor any operation that happens. 1, 2, and then 3 occupied by one person. Compared to 1,000 slaves held underground in the dungeons. The governor alone lives here as if there was nothing ongoing. This door here leads to his washroom. The same door leads to an emergency exit. Anytime there's an attack, the governor could quickly escape. So he was always safe, comfortable, and convenient at the castle in the midst of all the atrocities. He was living a fully European life right here.
1 bedroom, 4 apartments.
Yes. So the stair is very steeply, gently, walk in the middle, gently. This used to be the boardroom. They were having their meetings, they were having their discussions and meetings here. But today, an art craft shop, souvenir shop. Let's walk through. If you want to buy any souvenirs, feel free.
These are beautiful art.
Art material done by Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
So this is where the governor will stand to address the soldiers, who stands here to command parade. On top, there are watchtowers. The Dutch added those towers to protect this castle. Soldiers will stand on top to see if there are any enemies coming. But when the British were here, they converted the watchtowers into prison.
Prisons?
Yes. The British captured one of the powerful Asante kings, Nana Akwesi Agyeman Prempeh I.
Okay, Prempeh.
He was held here. Later exiled to Seychelles. Yaa Asantewaa also in prison here.
Prempeh in this one,
Yaa
Asantewaa in this one.
Okay. Yes. The weather is not clear. You would have seen the Cape Coast Castle. The white structure at the far, far end of the peninsula. That is the Cape Coast Castle. Far, far, far end. It's not clear. Built by the British purposely for the slave trade. All these holes you see, initially there were cannons in each of them. All the holes you see here, cannons were in each of them, protecting the castle against attack. Then we have the church. This is the Dutch Reformed Church. Right on top there's a Bible quotation written in Dutch, taken from Psalm 132. It says that Zion is the temple of the Lord where he has desired to dwell eternally. The Dutch believe that God is here. They met here to worship God. Right beneath this church is the female dungeon.
So
but
the place has been renovated?
Yes, today is an exhibition room. Okay. So let's walk to the exhibition. Just have a look at the collections we have here. Slavery, all the way from north, they brought the people down south. This is our exhibition room. So these are the original cannons. They use them to protect the castle against attack. Anytime an enemy is coming, they release it on the coming enemy. The big ones can travel about 3 kilometers.
3 kilometers.
Against the coming ship. Now let's have a look at something here. Over here are the moats. We have the inner moats, we have the outer moats. All this place was filled with seawater.
Seawater.
The sea was very close to the castle. Anytime an enemy is coming, that is the drawbridge. They will lift it up.
Okay. So when the enemy is coming inside, they will just lift it up so you can't cross
because the walls are very tall.
Okay.
Curtain was very, very tall.
Because of the seawater here, you can't cross.
And in moats too, they added a lot of poisonous substances, cutlasses, knives, so you can swim across. Okay. Very, 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 very difficult and dangerous. The 4 square diagram over there is a compass, navigational compass. The Dutch built a compass to also show direction and to serve as a sundial to tell the time. They will put a pole in the middle where the shadow will fall to tell them what time it is.
Oh, okay.
And right on top on the hill is a fort. Fort St. Jago.
Is it the first fort?
No, not the first fort. There are other forts before this one. But this one was built by the Dutch in 1665. Okay. Purposely to protect this castle. That was the grounds they guarded and captured the castle from the Portuguese. So being afraid that what they did may happen to them, they decided to build forts all around. We have Java.
Were enemies coming from this side?
From the inland.
The forest?
From the inland, yes.
Okay.
There are other enemies too from the inland coming to fight them, like other tribes, like the Asantis. So
these people were very wise.
All this monitoring their operation.
Jose is going to give us a summary of the whole history of the castle. Then we ended.
Yes. So initially, this place was the boardroom. You know, they were having their other meetings and stuff. I'm going to give a summary of our walking tour. Okay. The castle was built by the Portuguese in the year 1482. It was captured by the Dutch in 1637 and later on sold to the British in 1872. It has been under the custody of Ghana since 1957. In total, the castle aged 542 years. That is the oldest, the largest, and the biggest castle in sub-Saharan Africa. Today, as visitors, we've seen that the dungeons are empty. But the big question I throw to us is that, has slavery ended? No. Slavery is still ongoing. Mental slavery, child trafficking, human labor, a lot of evil, racism are still existing with us. But what is the message we are living here with? Martin Luther says something that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. He said that anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. He said that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. We all are tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly, affects the other indirectly. So as we go, irrespective of our tribe, those days our ancestors were not united. A lot of tribal wars was happening. And the wars were bringing a lot of captives. They were selling the captives to the Europeans for arms to expand their territories. Today, as descendants of all these atrocities, let's stand for love. Let's stand for unity and let's stand for justice. Irrespective of our color, language, nationality, or background, we are all one as a people. Let's live for all these virtues so that the world can be a good place for all of us. On this note, I want to thank you very much for coming. My name once again is Jose, and I was your tour guide.
So people, we are done with the tour in the Elmina Castle. We had a very great experience, and this is the great history we have about the Elmina Castle. The Portuguese came in here, the Dutch, the British, a lot of people came in here, and as you watch the video, you get to know the great history behind this great castle.
I feel sad. I also feel that man will exploit without honor, and that's just, and it repeats over and over and over again, and it's all about getting power, and it's just wrong.